What is going on, everybody? It is Dylan with DFS, bringing you the Thursday Night Showdown between the Rams and 49ers. If you guys are interested in getting this, the main slate, our FanDuel side, my bets and props, all that is available on our website, so go check that out. So let's get into it. So we have I think the total is at 49.5. Could be under, over, depending on the book you're at, but I think somewhere hovering around 49.5. San Fran, I believe, is favorites too at home. And this one is injury dependent right now. So I'm making this Thursday morning, and we're still waiting on injury news. We know a couple names. Durant, the corner for the Rams, is out. One of their tackles is out. San Fran also has, two linemen out. They're dealing with some injuries as well. So basically, for this slate, what we're looking at is Guerrero. We're looking at Guerrero, and Allen. That's pretty much it. Tyler Higbee, we already know, is out. Demarcus Robinson looks like he's gonna play, but it's pretty much Guerrero for fantasy. Now there's some other defensive players and offensive linemen and stuff like that we're waiting on news that we probably won't hear until tonight. So I'm gonna try to do my best on explaining or breaking this down based off of what we do know. So the game earlier this season, you could go back and look and say, hey, the 49ers lost to the Rams. Man, Brock Purdy had a really good game. Puka and Kupp must have had really, really good games. And then you go, oh, that's weird. Cooper Kupp didn't play. Oh, well, that means Puka Nakua had an amazing game. No, he didn't. The Rams did beat the 49ers earlier this season without Puka and without Kupp. That was crazy. Now, the Rams just come off a big win against Buffalo. San Fran just came off a big win, defeating my Bears, unfortunately. And now we got a really close game here. Division game. This is, must win for both teams. The way the NFC is looking right now, it's a must win for both teams. Yeah, so on the Rams side, you get 4 of the top 5 players are Rams. You get Puka, Kyron, Kupp, then it goes Purdy, and then Stafford. So if you're favoriting the Rams side, you're gonna have to make some tough decisions, right? Because Puka obviously has the highest ceiling. Kyron Williams, I think, has got an amazing matchup on the road against San Fran. Last week against the Bills, 29 carries for 87 yards, 2 touchdowns, and gets a little bit of receiving work. But the last 2 weeks, he's over 20 DraftKings points. I like the matchup for him this week. I think if you want to target the Rams, what you're targeting for against on the San Fran side is their defensive line is banged up. Greenlaw may come back. There is a chance we see Greenlaw in this game tonight to go with Warner. The 49ers dealing with safety health, right? The safeties are banged up. But the corners are their healthiest in their best position, but they've been underperforming this season. But they do seem, besides the linebackers, as their stronger part of this defense. You can go and look at San Fran, how they played at home. They've played the pass pretty damn good at home so far this season. The Rams just put up 44 points, though, against Buffalo's defense. So, to do that as you will. But it is going to be really hard to attack the Rams offense in this one, right? I think the way I'm kind of looking at it is I want to get Kyron against San Fran with how banged up they are, especially the defensive line. And then decide, do I want to get Stafford and like Puka or Kupp, or do I just get a receiver without Stafford, right? We've seen games to where Matt Stafford, he has good games, right? He's going to throw the ball a lot. He's going to get passing yards. But the fantasy numbers may not come as high, especially when you're paying for his price point, right? So you could look at Puka's numbers, right? He's put up 20 plus in the last 3 out of 4 games. You can look at Kupp's numbers, same thing. The last 3 out of 4 games, he's put up 20 plus points. I don't think you need to have Stafford with one of the pass catchers, right? I think you could play Kyron and you could play Puka, you could play Kupp, and then decide what you want to attack on the San Fran side. So if Guerrero plays, he's only 8,400. If he's out, you get Taylor at 7,400. And then you go down. I'm looking at Izzy as the number 2 guy. I mean, if you want to go Keyshawn Vaughn, you can go. Or Keyshawn Vaughn, sorry. If you want to go Keyshawn Vaughn at 3,400, you can go there. I'd probably look at Izzy. Granted, he did just get picked up. But he had some moments for the Jets that looked pretty good. Vaughn, I believe the last time we saw him was Tampa, besides this season, San Fran. So I'm kind of looking at Izzy at 3K versus Vaughn at 3,400 as a piece to add on, right, for San Fran. So that's one way you can get it, right? A good running back, a good matchup for a running back at a good price at 7,400, I think is a good way to attack it. Now Brock Purdy does stand out as a guy to really look for. In this one, I think with Guerrero now being out, you're down your top. We'll say 4 running backs, because you think about it: CMC, Mason, Elijah Mitchell, right, and then Guerrero. Top 4 running backs. He did manage to find the end zone against the Bears, but I would kind of look at the pass attack in the red zone for the 49ers. So I'm looking at Juwan Jennings. I'm looking at George Kittle. I'm looking at Deebo Samuel now. Deebo Samuel didn't pay off. I played him in tournaments last week. I liked the potential for him. Only 3 receiving targets, but he did get 5 rushing attempts on that one. I think something that's going to happen with the running back injuries is Deebo Samuel continue to get these rush attempts. So I do like Deebo Samuel to continue to get rushing attempts. But man, they got to find a way in the pass game to get him included, because although the team did put up 30 plus points against the Bears all season, they've been underperforming. And Deebo just has not gotten the ball as much as he should when we've seen this team have almost dominant success before. So I like Purdy. I like Juwan Jennings. I like George Kittle. I like compared to the Rams, you're getting value on the San Fran side. San Fran plays very, very tough at home, especially offensively. When they just scored 30 against the Bears, I'm looking at them to have a really good week here against the Rams. So I like the discounted prices for all the San Fran guys. I think all are playable on this one. Taylor and up. If you're asking who my 2 best, I'm going to say Juwan Jennings for one of the best ones. But George Kittle's also got to be mentioned. Rams have played pretty poor against tight ends this season. And George Kittle, I mean, is just being a very, in my opinion, consistent tight end this season, right? 2 games under 10 points. The game in Buffalo, which there was just no passing in that one, but since week 1, this guy's been putting up consistent fantasy points, right? Like 14 is the lowest. Now, granted, you're not getting any 30-point games, but I mean, for someone like George Kittle that you could just put in your lineup every week and he's getting you 14 plus with the potential of 20, yeah, he's been a safe play so far this season, right? And guess who didn't play against the Rams earlier this season? George Kittle. So I think Kittle and Jennings stand out. I think for the ownership he's going to get, Deebo Samuel could be a really good leverage play. Obviously, he's cheaper than the 2. So I think if you want to get leverage, you go Deebo. If you're looking for guys that are probably safer plays, it's Jennings and Kittle. Now going down to the kickers, San Fran's defense in the red zone has been very, very bad. They're a bottom 5 defense in the red zone. So if the Rams find success, it might be very tough for San Fran in this game, just for how bad they've been. And I will say they are dealing with a lot of injuries as a team. Just top to bottom, every position, it seems like there's an injury. So San Fran's been dealing with some injuries. But if you want to go Cardi in this one, kind of target the Rams to be unsuccessful in the red zone, maybe struggle to get the ball. Matt Stafford is one of the worst quarterbacks this season under pressure, like actual starting quarterbacks under pressure. So, maybe they get down the field, pressure gets to them. So if you want to go the Cardi route, and then Moody is just, yet again, he's a guy that you like because he's on San Fran, but at the same time, you don't like because he's on San Francisco, right? He's on what should be a top offense in the league, but as they've played lately, and you've seen some of the games they played, they've put up less than 20 points, right? He's not getting these extra points with like 2 field goals to kind of really pay off. You're used to him getting 4 extra points, maybe 3 field goals, but somewhere around 2, and he's getting around 12, 13 points a game. They haven't been there a lot this season. You go back to week 3, he only had 2 field goal attempts in that one with 3 extra points. So if he hits it, he gets at least 9. So I think both kickers can be in play in this one. San Fran kind of struggled in the red zone with the amount of running back injuries. You could play that into effect as well. Ricky Pearsall, I would like to play Ricky Pearsall, but I mean, outside of these 2 games against Tampa and Dallas, he really hasn't been included, especially as of late. So yet again, I don't like it as a play. But that means it could be a good leverage play, right? He's going to see lower in ownership. So if you're looking for a guy, lower ownership, the cheapest out of the San Fran starters, right? Even the kicker, cheaper than the kicker, Ricky Pearsall has got to be is worth mentioning for an option for leverage. Continue to go on. I mentioned the running backs for San Fran in Vaughn and Izzy. Going down, if you're looking for some other value on the Rams side, I would watch the Allen news tonight. If he is out, Parkinson would be the only tight end, basically. Obviously, they're not. They're going to have a practice squad guy or something. Higbee already confirmed out, so Parkinson is worth mentioning. But you have to factor in San Fran is number 2 defense against tight ends, and that is with possibly Greenlaw returning as well. So, that is a big risk you're going to have to take in that one. But, I mean, Demarcus Robinson is outside of the tight end, the cheapest guy for the Rams. So, I don't know. If you want to get that cheap, go. But, I mean, I'm kind of looking at doing something like this, right? I normally don't do this anymore in showdowns. But we'll say this, right? We'll say Garendo's out. So we'll put someone like Patrick Taylor in as captain just because he's cheap. The potential ceilings there. I want Juwan. I want Kyren in my lineup. And let's put I don't know if we could do this, but let's see what happens. You get 700, and I don't really think there's anybody down here worth 700 putting in the lineup. But yeah, I mean, just using an example, obviously we can go somewhere else and get different, right? We could throw, let's get a leverage play in here, and we'll say that, Vaughn. We'll throw Keyshawn Vaughn in there and put him as a flex and say, hey, we're not going to play Taylor, right? We're hoping Taylor has a bad game, and I don't know. But we'll put a consistency guy in there in Juwan Jennings as our captain, and then kind of see where we're at. So let's throw Kyren, let's throw Kupp, let's throw Purdy, and then we get 4,100 left to put someone else in. So, I mean, you could look at, going off of this lineup. I don't know where we go, right? Like, we could say someone like, I had 300 off Demarcus Robinson. So let's just throw someone in there, and then just go from there and throw Kobe Parkinson in there. Obviously, I don't love it, but that's getting different, right? It's getting 4 pay-ups, 2 on each side. You're getting leverage and fading Taylor and hoping Vaughn gets pretty close to Taylor's points for cheaper. And then just throwing Parkinson in there just to get the lineup in. But yeah, obviously it's tough, right? You're not going to be able to really stack all that top talent there. You're going to have to pay down at 1 or 2 spots. So it's definitely going to be something when constructing lineups of where you're going to want your ownership, right? Because Kupp, Williams, Puka all up there for the Rams side as the top 3 players. So you're definitely going to have to get creative of who you're going to fade, right? And that's if you don't want to go Stafford as well. So I think you get really creative. So I'm kind of looking at Kyren and Puka as my top Rams, and then Purdy and Jennings / Kittle on the San Fran side, and then Taylor just kind of the value if Garendo is out at 8,400. Taylor's in a really good, pretty much play in every lineup top of play. So, and then getting different with value is going someone like Izzy, going Vaughn, going Parkinson for his price point. So, I mean, even Tutu Atwell's down there, but still, he's fourth in snaps for the Rams. So, hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.